Ever since Glam broke away from his family, his rock career had been taking off. Not only was his fan base growing, but the venues had gone from small bars to places that could hold tens of thousands. Yet their manager still insisted the band's income couldn't cover individual hotel rooms for everyone. Reluctantly, Glam had to share with Chess, enduring his socks that stank to high heaven every day. They bickered over small stuff, but when it came to rock fashion choices, their taste aligned perfectly. Today, they were preparing for a crucial concert. As the lights came up, everyone's DNA started pumping to the rhythm of the music. Chess, as lead singer, had a voice that was sincere yet haunting, soaring yet resonant, captivating countless fans. Under the spotlight, though he looked scruffy, you could still feel the burning passion of life through his singing. The suppressed emotions inside exploded in that instant. Perhaps that's why so many people love rock. After the song, everyone celebrated below the stage, except Glam, who sat alone in a corner, turning down every girl who tried to hit on him. This made his bandmates wonder if something was off with him. Meanwhile, Chess received an offer from a manager wanting to sign him and Glam. Chess wasn't interested, telling the guy to talk to their band manager, then turned to leave. But then the man went for the jugular. That person doesn't understand you. He'll only constrain you into a money-making tool. Besides, he didn't become manager because of you. This seemed to strike a nerve with Chess. Sure enough, during a meeting, the manager directly expressed his hope that Chess would write more love songs to appeal to fans. But this clearly went against Chess's vision. He immediately stated he wasn't suited for love songs. Only then did Chess look at his bandmates and Glam. They all seemed fine with the love song format. Reluctantly, Chess compromised, saying he'd give it a try. The manager then brought good news. On October 13th, the band would open for the famous rock band Twisted Sister. Everyone got instantly pumped. But before that, he hoped Chess would drop his bad habit. It wasn't good for him or the band. Hearing this, Chess exploded. "That stuff is my creative source. Who are you to tell me what to do? How many musical geniuses like me have you even seen? If not, then shut up." After his rant, Chess stormed off, leaving everyone staring at each other. The manager had no choice but to turn to Glam, hoping he could talk some sense into Chess. But could he really pull someone out of the mud? Back in the room, Chess needed Glam's help. He was so out of it he couldn't even write. He needed Glam to mail this letter home. It contained living expenses for his mother. It was clear he really loved his family. Though Glam was curious about the backstory, he didn't ask. But first, he hoped Chess could do him a favor too. Chess was using 1 second, then claimed he'd quit the next. Glam actually believed this obvious lie. Seems he really trusted Chess as a friend. But Chess clearly didn't deserve that trust. Cut to a few days later. Everyone showed up for rehearsal, but Chess was nowhere to be found. Discord started brewing in the group, especially when he showed up looking high. It was infuriating. But the most hurt was Glam. Chess had lied to him. Meanwhile, the bandmates looked at Chess's compositions like they'd seen a ghost. It was complete nonsense, totally defying musical logic. Chess didn't care, which was pitiful to watch. He even demonstrated for everyone, but it was obviously just him entertaining himself. The bandmates threw away the music, packed their instruments, unplugged the speakers. Even Glam put down his guitar. Was this band about to fall apart? Chess didn't understand but didn't care. He still had Glam. Chess was clearly unhinged now, unable to communicate normally. Watching his former friend become this way, Glam could only sigh helplessly and leave disappointed. That night, during a moment of clarity, Chess found Glam, hoping for forgiveness. He knew he'd screwed up all their plans. Seeing his friend's disappointed expression, Glam said there was still a chance to fix things. They hadn't finished a song they'd been working on together. This gave Chess hope. But first, Glam wanted him to really quit, not just make empty promises. To prove his commitment, Chess had to reveal all his hidden stashes, flushing them down the drain. Soon, morning's first rays entered the room. The bandmates planned to have breakfast with Glam, but overheard a strange misunderstanding. They'd only suspected Glam was odd before, now they were convinced. But what happened inside was just a misunderstanding. Chess was helping Glam put on earrings. Everything seemed back on track. Soon came their final rehearsal. With everything ready, beautiful melodies filled the room, bringing smiles back to everyone's faces. But before Chess could sing 2 lines, someone knocked on the door. Lisa said a woman urgently needed to speak with Chess. Chess thought it was his mother and apologetically left. But when he answered the phone, it was his aunt. She brought devastating news. His mother had died from an overdose. Chess went blank, then collapsed weakly on the sofa. Regret, sadness, anger, all emotions erupted at once. He kept cursing, trying to feel like his mother was still there. But it was all self-deception. Looking at himself in the mirror, he broke down again. Meanwhile, the others kept waiting for Chess. Everyone thought he'd relapsed except Glam, who still believed in him. He went to their room but couldn't find him. No sign of him at any of the usual haunts either. He had to search outside. He never expected to find Chess sleeping with flies in a garbage heap. Glam approached and woke Chess, angrily assuming he'd used again. This time he wouldn't forgive him. He was done with Chess's problems. As he turned to leave, Chess couldn't hold back anymore. He painfully revealed he'd lost his mom and would be alone from now on, just a pathetic worm. Glam's simple response pulled them back from the brink of separation. Glam Glam brought Ches back to the hotel. Facing the band's questions, he chose to respect Ches's wishes and not reveal the reason. But the cost was abandonment. The manager had found a new lead singer to replace Ches. Glam wouldn't compromise with this sudden demand. In his heart, the band only had one lead singer, Ches. He was irreplaceable. Even though this meant missing out on his favorite idol, he chose to stay. Seeing persuasion was futile, the manager gave up on Glam. Watching the bus drive away, Glam looked dejected. All their previous efforts were now zeroed out. They were nobodies again. While packing, they found the violin and guitar they'd used in their youth. Years later, they couldn't help but play together again. Same old feeling, giving Ches new hope. He pulled out the business card that manager had given him. They decided to start a new journey, a new form of rock. Who says guitar and violin can't be the perfect match? What happens next? Will they find the right bassist and drummer? Tune in next time.